Well, joining me now to discuss this and more is Congressman Scott Perry. He serves on several different committees, among which the House Oversight and Accountability Committee and the Foreign Affairs Committee. He represents the 10th Congressional District of Pennsylvania. General Perry, always great to see you. Welcome back to Washington Watch.
Well, it's great to be with you, Jody. And unfortunately, the UN was conceived as something that would unite nations, but it's turned into, unfortunately, just another globalist organization that is interested in the destruction of the West and democratic societies like the United States of America and, of course, Israel. And so we see another resolution calling for Israel to engage in a ceasefire. And look, I think Israel would be happy to engage in a ceasefire. And the way to do that is for Hamas to surrender all of its weapons and to surrender in the fight against Israel. And most importantly, to surrender the hostages that they have taken, not only Israeli hostages, but American hostages. Where is this administration? Where is Joe Biden regarding American hostages held by Hamas? And so I guess if you can attack Israel and kill 1,200 civilians and take 250 hostages in one day, you can get away with it, and Israel is not supposed to respond. We need to remember that Israel is responding to the unprovoked attack, unjustified attack on its nation and its citizens by the terrorist organization of Hamas located in Gaza.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great question. Where is our own leadership here in this country? It's unbelievable. I bet the average American is not even aware or doesn't remember that there are U.S. hostages as well. And the huge question is, where are we?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Yesterday, I'm sure you saw Algeria propose a draft at the UN Security Council resolution, a resolution that's demanding a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. And essentially, it's ordering Israel to immediately stop all its offensive military operations in Rafah. Give me your reaction to that, General.
Well, my reaction is that what I think that the UN Security Council and what Algeria should be supporting is an immediate return of hostages from Gaza, from Hamas, and for Hamas to lay down its arms. And then if they did that, they wouldn't have to call on Israel for a ceasefire because Israel would stop fighting. Israel has to protect itself, and Algeria and much of the UN, as you know, just considers that Israel, because Israel's defending itself, must engage in a ceasefire while absolving Hamas and the operations and the governance in Gaza of all responsibility and all accountability, including the more than 100 hostages, including Americans, that still remain today. Now, of course, the resolution, as I understand it, we haven't read it yet, says that Hamas must return the hostages. But it doesn't say immediately, Jody. It just says must return them. But yet Israel must stop fighting immediately and I guess hope for the goodwill of Hamas to return the hostages, which stole these people from Israel in the first place.
Excellent point. Words matter. And when you have words like immediately, that's a big deal. And it certainly appears to be one-sided in this. How much, I look at all of this and it just seems as though there are so many ways in which the terrorists here, Hamas, are emboldened, be it from the weakness of the Biden administration or be it from countries like Spain and Ireland and Norway recognizing the Palestinian state that does not exist, and yet they're recognizing it. All of this seems to embolden the terrorists, does it not?
Well, nothing emboldens them more with the so-called Palestinian state than Americans shouting and chanting death to America in states like Michigan, but all around college campuses to be splattered across TVs around the world on CNN and MSNBC as though it's the norm, as though it's what most Americans believe. Most Americans don't want to see death to America, don't want to see death to Israel, and don't want to see a so-called Palestinian state get rid of and extinguish Israel from the planet, which is the mission of Hamas. Hamas runs Gaza. Islamic Jihad is another one, Hezbollah, etc., all Iran proxies with the avowed requirement to rid the world of Israel. That is their mission. That is their goal. Most Americans don't want to see that, but yet when that's what CNN and other liberal media outlets show, of course, terrorists are going to be emboldened to think that what they're doing is working, because it is working. Like you just said, Spain, Ireland, other countries considering recognizing the so-called Palestinian state. It's unimaginable, yet where is Joe Biden? You know what Joe Biden is doing? He's out trying to earn the vote of these people shouting death to America by being soft on support of Israel and being weak. This is how we got into this position in the first place, Jody. You know this. You served in Congress.
Wow. Extremely well said.